Alright, people, we are back to talk Marvel Legends, specifically the brand new HasLab project from the Marvel Legends team. Obviously, the last one didn't work out too well, the Engine of Vengeance. That did not get back. But before that, we had some big successes with the HasLab Sentinel and Galactus as well. And now the team is back once again with a new project to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the Avengers. And so it's been a couple weeks now that they've been teasing on Instagram on the Hasbro Pulse page something to do with the Avengers 60th anniversary. So you can see this first part right here. And then eventually they did post this one, part 4 of 7, which did tease the character that we all knew this was going to be. And then they announced the fan stream that was going to be happening today at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for something big, which clearly it is quite big. And so just as we all expected, they did officially announce the Marvel Legends HasLab Giant Man. And so this will be great to go alongside all of your classic Avengers. It's a very classic design for the costume of this character. So that is great to see. Obviously, like I said, a large character. I mean, the guy's named Giant Man. And with HasLab projects, always it's going to be bigger projects that can't be sold at retail price or in stores. So I believe this is a similar size to what the Sentinel was, coming in at 24 inches, which I think is perfect size for that because, I mean, obviously it can't be as big as Galactus because Galactus is supposed to be like the biggest character. So Giant Man being a similar size to the Sentinel, I think is good. That works well. Here's the comparison to a 6-inch figure with the classic Captain America. So that is a great look at it right there. Also, just looking at the design of this character of Giant Man, again, I think it's a great classic costume. I love the texturing and the details they did for showing off the muscles and the wrinkles and the fabric and everything. I like the belt. I like also how on the blue parts on both the gloves and the boots, it has kind of like the spiky like triangle pattern coming up at the ends of it. That's really cool and very like classic back in the day comic style design. So I like that. Articulation is a big thing on this. This figure has a lot when it comes to articulation. They said something like 29 points of articulation per hand, which is absolutely insane. And again, here's just a great look at that figure in all of his glory. We will be having him come with some alternate faceplates. So similar to what happened with Galactus, like a figure at this scale can't come with alternate heads like the regular 6-inch figures would. So they instead come with faceplates. Now with Galactus, it was just the mouthpiece. But with Giant Man, you actually have the full face. You have just his regular kind of stoic, heroic face. You have his happy, smiling face, and then his angry, mad face there as well. So I think this is great. I think that's a great idea. I am interested to see, especially how, again, with Galactus, like you only slipped out the mouth. So to do the whole thing, especially because you do have the mask up over the eyes, is it going to like slip out under that? Or, I don't know. We'll see. But I think that's a good idea. I think that's going to look really cool. And that brings us to, of course, the backing. This is a crowdfund project, so it will need 10,000 backers to actually be made. If this project does not get 10,000 backer orders by October 23rd, 2023 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, then this project will not go into development. Just like the Engine of Vengeance, that project is nowhere to be seen because it did not get enough backers by its time. This project is $200. Technically $199.99 US dollars, but basically $200, which I think is good because I believe that's less than the Engine of Vengeance was. That was one of the biggest reasons the Engine of Vengeance wasn't backed, is because first of all, it's not something that like everybody wants. It wasn't like this big figure. It was just a car for Ghost Rider, and not even like the main Ghost Rider. It wasn't Johnny Blaze. It was Robbie Reyes, which isn't as popular. And also just the price was huge. It was over $200, I believe. It was like, I don't know what it was, but it was over $200. And so I think this being $200, this Giant Man, that's justifiable. I mean, personally, I'm still not going to pay $200 for an action figure, but I think that people that have that money and are really invested in this collecting industry, I do believe that that is a fairly decent price for that. Again, 10,000 backers are needed. When I just looked at it recently, it was, I believe, already over 1,000. So already off to a good start. You can go to HasbroPulse.com, back this project, and you can order it. I believe it works that you can back it, but it won't actually take your money, like, you know, you use a card. It won't actually take the money out of your account until, I believe, after the crowdfund is over, because obviously, like, if it doesn't go into development, then you won't get charged for it. So like 10,000 people could go back it right now and then like change their mind last minute or something, just to get the project backed, and also the tiers as well, which the tiers is always what I'm most interested in with these HasLab projects, especially since I don't actually buy them. So I'm kind of just here like as a bystander, just watching from the outside, seeing like what products are being made. And so I think the Giant Man figure is cool, but obviously always the tiers are really awesome, because like, oh, what 6-inch figures are they going to make alongside this figure? Like for Galactus, that was really cool when they made all the different heralds for him. That was awesome. Now they made it clear with Giant Man, they're not going to do 6-inch figures for these tiers, which is a little disappointing, but their reason for why is very understandable, because they did that for the Engine of Vengeance, especially a character like Mephisto that everybody really, really wanted, nobody got, because it was kind of being gatekept behind that HasLab project that not enough people wanted. So they're not going to do this here. They're not going to give us any of these other classic Avengers characters being gatekept by this Giant Man HasLab project. They're instead just going to give us alternate faceplates, which honestly I'm fine with as well. I think it looks really cool, especially because, you know, people can army build as well and get multiple Giant Men, and then they can have different versions of the character. Like you can see right here, we have a zombie Giant Man, which I think is really awesome. So at 12,000 backers, we will get the zombie faceplate. That's both the faceplate and also the antennas as well. So that looks really awesome. I also enjoy the fact that they use the same skin tone and kind of texture and everything for the zombie design as our more recent zombie Marvel Legends figures, even though those are based off the MCU and the animated What If series, and this is based off the comics design, it still works, and I think that's really cool. You can see this photography that was done here of Zombie, Scarlet Witch, Iron Man, and Captain America alongside our zombie Giant Man. So I think that's really cool. And finally, we do also have a second tier, which will be unlocked at 14,000 backers, which is an alternate Skrull head. So that's a really awesome idea as well, especially because Hank Pym was a Skrull in the comics. So I think that's really nice as an addition. And obviously, see right here, again, you know, they're trying to promote all their other figures as well. Their recent Secret Invasion 2-pack with the Skrull Queen and the Super Skrull, and then you also have the Skrull Army Builders in the bottom left corner as well. Also notice Giant Man doing his giant, iconic stomp pose right there, so that's really cool to see. Now they only reveal these 2 tiers. In the past, there's been at least 3, I believe, so there is the potential for more, but I would say for now, let's get the project back to 10,000, then hopefully get up to 14,000 for this Skrull head, and once we get to that point, then we'll go from there, and they may reveal more. They may not. We'll see. But this is a project that, especially in comparison to the Engine of Vengeance, I see this going places, and I fully believe that this project will not only get back, but most likely we will get both the tiers as well, because that's what happened with the Sentinel and Galactus. Those are both characters that people really, really wanted, and so therefore we ended up getting these all of these projects funded, and now hopefully the same will happen with Giant Man as well. This giant addition to Marvel Legends. Again, I think this is a great figure. I'm really looking forward to this. And of course, when we unlock the tiers or if more are announced, I will keep you guys updated. So like I said, if you want to get the Giant Man Marvel Legends HasLab project, go to HasbroPulse.com and back this project right now. It's $200, so go check it out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about this figure, about this reveal? What do you think about the tiers? If there are possibly more tiers, what would you want them to be? Again, they're not going to be 6-inch figures, but let me know in the comments below. So thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I can keep you up to date on everything that goes on in the Marvel life.